Hey, what's going on, photographers? Today we're going to be going over how to install the Facebook Pixel. Now, first we got to understand what the heck is it, why do we use it, and why am I even showing you this? And depending on where you're watching this, I've written a blog on this and it goes more in depth. But basically, it's an analytical tool. It's basically a piece of code that you put into the HTML header of your website. And what it does is every time somebody comes to your website, it triggers. And it basically records, let's just say, actions that people are taking on your website. Now, this is extremely important in order to basically make sure that your ads are shown to the right people, that you're building an audience. And not only that, it also has an amazing analytical dashboard. It gives you the results of your ads. And ultimately, it lets you retarget to people. So basically, it lets you track what individuals are doing. And then depending on those actions, you can maybe decide to send them other advertisements or perform other actions. So I'm going to be using a dummy account, and I'm going to be showing you how to basically install the Pixel on WordPress and on a variation of different content management system where you basically maybe have to do it on every single website. And it really depends on what platform you're using. If you're using Squarespace, it might be a little bit different, but it's very simple. You're going to have maybe a global place to put it in, and then you might have to go put any events you want to track individually onto pages, and you can perform a simple Google search. But overall, what this tutorial is going to show you is basically the overall thought process behind it. And if you can do it on WordPress, you can definitely do it on any other management system like Weebly, Wix, you name it. So what you're going to do is I have the link in the description and in the blog, but you're going to go to the Events Manager. And what's going to happen is you're going to go and find the Pixel. And if you don't have one, you'll click the blue button, you'll create it, and you'll name it. Super easy. That'll walk you through the setup. But here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to click Setup, and you'll get to this screen. It's going to say manually install the code yourself. All you're going to do is you're going to copy this entire code, and you're going to put it in the website header. Now, there's two ways to do this. Let's just say universally on WordPress. Number one, you can get a plugin. I haven't even installed it yet. Or you can come into your themes editor. So you can come into the editor. Yes, I understand I can break things. I'm going to click on the header. And then once I do that, I'm going to scroll down to where the header ends. And I'm simply going to paste the Facebook Pixel code. Now, if I did this and I clicked Update File, this is actually going to ensure that this is installed. So I'm actually going to click Update File. And I'm going to do this because I also want to show you the testing tool. So I'm going to click Update. And while we're on that topic, the testing tool we're going to use is called the Facebook Pixel Helper. Now, what this does, this is a Google Chrome extension. And anytime you go to a website, it basically, detects in the header or, anywhere on your website, if that is actually somewhere or if it's actually installed. So if you see here, this is one of our Boudoir clients. She's actually amazing. She has an amazing business, and she gets a lot of it from Facebook, to be honest. So if you see here, when I use this, if somebody does have the Facebook Pixel, then it'll show up. And if they don't, then it'll basically stay blank. So normally if I'm surfing the web, I'll know whether people are retargeting or if they're running their Facebook ads properly. But yeah, that tool is extremely useful. So let's come back to this. And I'm going to go visit site and see if it's updated. Sometimes, there's a cache or, it's got an old version saved. And you can see here, nope, it actually picked it up. So that's good. Basically, on any website, it's basically going to apply this to all the pages on this theme. Okay, so that's really important. But you can see that the only thing it's tracking is page views. So what do we have to do? Well, if we read these instructions, you're going to go through and you're going to see that when you click continue, you can add other events. So for photographers, what I normally suggest is it really depends on you. We use the lead events. So what you're going to do is see where it says Facebook track lead. Technically, I could come in here, and here's an example of what I've pasted. I could come in here and just put the script separately. But if I'm already doing the page view, if I do have control to each individual page, I could just come put this in right here. Okay, or you can put it in like this. But obviously, if you did paste it there, then you would just erase this. Okay, that way you don't have it on there twice. And it's not counting people twice. So what would that look like? I've actually brought up a dummy page. And let me come in here, and it's in Show It. So I brought in a dummy page, and I'm actually going to remove this so you guys can't see her pixel code. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. And this is more of a content management system where, you have to do everything individually. Oh man, whatever. So this is where you have to do everything individually. And what will happen is, when I come in here and I grab that code, let's just say I came in here and I grabbed this one, I'm going to have to do this for every single page. And it just happens to be a show-itism because, there is no universal header. So when I click save on all of these pages, I'm going to have to do this. That's actually kind of good. While it's annoying at first, what it does do is it lets me basically put different events on different pages very easily. Now, there are some plugins for WordPress and there are other ways to do this, but this makes it extremely easy to basically handle each page differently. And you might be thinking like, why the heck do I want to track leads? Well, this is important in case somebody comes to your website. Let's just say they come and for some reason they don't inquire with you. Because what you're going to see is anytime we submit a form, we'll do something like, let's just set this in here. We'll set a fake phone number and we'll complete it. What's going to happen is I normally redirect to another page. And what's going to happen is on this thank you page, what I've done is I've put that other snippet in there to track leads. And what's going to happen is basically I'm going to get put into an audience, or I'm going to be able to basically treat someone differently who's triggered this lead event. Maybe I don't want to keep bombarding them with ads in order to become a lead or give me their info because now I know that they've already done it. The other thing it does is it basically lets Facebook know, let's just say there's 10 women that do this over and over and over again. They have things in common. Well, it's going to start to figure out, hey, people that are like this, as it gets more numbers, maybe more like 100, people like this are more likely to inquire with her. So let's serve these ads more frequently or, first to these people. And that's how Google or Facebook goes through the learning process. So it's extremely useful. So that's the second part. And it's absolutely important that you're doing this because not only are you going to get the analytical benefits, but you're going to be able to segment your audiences. And not only that, if I created ads and I was, let's just say, not redirecting to a thank you page, or I wasn't tracking it on the submit button, well, then how am I going to know which ads are working? So the other thing is this attributes it properly to the right ad where people came from. So I'm going to show you a different method to do this. And of course, this is just an example, so I'm going to erase this. And the second method is going to be with a plugin, and that plugin is called Pixel Caffeine. So I've deleted that, no harm, no foul, update. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into plugins, install plugin. And the cool thing about this is it also lets you basically create your custom conversion events. And what you'll do is you'll type in Facebook Pixel, or maybe you'll just type in Pixel Caffeine. But it should be one of the first ones. So where is it? Pixel Caffeine, right here. So it's already active. You can see that. So let me go find it. So I'm going to go into my plugins and, there it is. But at least in case you didn't know how to install one, now you do. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through this setup and walkthrough. It's pretty fairly easy and whatever, I'll log into this. So I'll connect it. And for the purposes of this, I suggest going through this process so that, you actually get all the functionality. You'll read. If you don't, you basically won't be able to do that. So I'm going to come in here and it's going to be let me see. I'll pick one that's a dummy account. Or one that's not actively live or being used. Okay, I've got a bunch of numbers. Can't really keep track of the numbers, but I'll use one of mine. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use this shared. Okay, so once I've chosen what the pixel is, it's basically applied the view pixel to my entire website. It's the equivalent of me doing it in the appearance editor, and it's the equivalent of me basically going in to show it and applying it to every single page. Now, the other cool thing is I can come in here and create conversion events. So I can do lead form submitted. And I can trigger it on a page visit. And what I'll do is I can basically say something along the lines of, when somebody, views this page and, let's just say this is pretendwebsite.com/thank you, right? Because we're going to redirect to this page. So we're going to do that and I can create tracking. And what's going to happen is anytime somebody lands on this page, it's going to basically track and attribute to my ads, whenever it contains this. And if you just want to simplify it, technically, if it's got this condition, you are contains. You could have just done /thank you. So what's going to happen is I've basically told this plugin that anytime somebody visits this page to trigger this event, which is named lead form submit, and it's a lead event. So when I go into my, my dashboard and I set my campaigns, which you can read more in the guide that I've included in the description of this video, you'll be able to basically, read that on the dashboard as, a conversion event. So you can accurately track which ads are doing the best. So if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, head over to the blog, leave a like, leave a comment on the video. It really helps. And if you know anybody else that can use this information, hey, let them know it exists. And I appreciate you watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.